Yeah, fucking man, I do not understand how many technical difficulties we have had just trying to get your audio to play through OBS
Hmm.
today. Like it's such a common thing that I've done. Like just desktop audio capture. I've done it multiple times on multiple live streams where I'm playing a game with a friend and we just capture our audio through Discord and it's no big deal. It just comes through, no problem. And then we
Yep.
go to do this and it's fucked.
Just
It's
yeah,
all fucked.
there was just nothing on Scotch's OBS for some reason. We had to come up with the jankiest setup ever, where we have a separate Google Meet call, like in an OBS browser, getting my audio while we actually talk in Discord. We're maybe the first people to ever use this method.
Yep. Yep. It is the most janky method that we could possibly be using, but you know what? It works, and that's what matters at the end
And
of the day.
oh yeah, that's pretty fitting for our show, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Max, I wanted to ask you when we first set out to start doing this, I had said, you know, let's make a commitment to set out and podcast for a year and then we can reevaluate and see how we're feeling. How are you
Yep.
feeling about a year of podcasting at this point?
I'm loving it. I like part of the reason I wanted to start the podcast was also to just like have an opportunity to speak in English more regularly,
Hmm.
and I like that. I like hearing about all your different hobbies and having someone to talk to about the game, not just the games, but also the videos we watch and just hobbies in general. It's just been a blast for the past year.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, we didn't know each other super well when we started this, you
Nah,
know?
nah. Yeah, we just like casually sometimes said stuff in the Discord.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah. And now we have realized that like we're basically kind of the same person just in different countries. Like we watch a lot of the same kind of YouTube videos. We have like this kind of obsession with getting really obsessed with random hobbies
Mm-hmm.
and
Which
just
are
like
super hyped about tapes.
yeah.
And
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it and I look forward to recording for another year after this.
same, same. And
So
I'm super glad you hit me up with that idea at first.
yeah, yeah, me too. I'd been wanting to start a video game podcast for a little while, and it kind of felt like that there wasn't somebody that like kind of matched my energy of playing weird games like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Until we got to talking about starting this. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's been a perfect match, and I'm happy to be doing it.
Yeah, same. I cannot say it best. It's just couldn't have been a better match.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and get into this. Welcome, everybody, to the first live episode of the TrashStation podcast, your gaming podcast all about weird, unknown, and forgotten video games. I'm Chris, here with my co host, Max.
Yes, that's me. Thanks, Chris. Just send me the ball like that. And people watching and our friends know that we mostly play trashy games. That's what we just said. We're talking anime games, retro games you've never heard of, the NDS stuff on itch.io, and everything in between.
And as usual, we'll add those games to our tier list that we call the landfill, chat about our creative hobbies, and shout out some of our favorite content creators on the internet. And Max, we've got some games to talk about today. Um, I'm gonna be honest, it was a little bit of a struggle for me to actually get the number of games in that
Mm-hmm.
I did. I've got 4 games on the list today to talk about, and that's all been within like the last 5 days.
I mostly have the same. Yeah, it's been the same situation for me. Like I've played one of these games for a bit, and Like the other ones, I just like started in the past 3 days on a
Right.
whim because I've been mostly playing the roguelite slime game that I brought to show the last time,
Hmm.
which is just like a fun time waster. I don't often like playing multiple runs in a row, but one
Right.
run every so often is been super enjoyable for me, and there's so much content, and there's kind of a bit of grinding to unlock everything, but so far I'm enjoying it, and I hope to just like beat the game. And then I will
Yeah.
be able to just uninstall it and never think about that again.
Yeah, my problem has more been that like the week prior to this week when we're currently recording. So we are currently recording on a Friday, the 5th of September. And the week prior to this, I'm a chip vendor, and the chips that I distribute to grocery stores went on sale. And at the same time, I had taken on a side job to do a bunch of work for somebody. So I was basically working two jobs for one of my busiest weeks of the
Oof.
year.
Wow.
So I just, for an entire week, I did not play video games. Which is not great when I have a video game podcast that I need to talk about video games on.
Yeah, especially a live episode.
Yes, especially a live episode. And I would like to just mention really briefly to the chat, everybody that's here, we thank you so much for coming in. Like chat away, comment. We are going to probably not be like reading the chat prompts, at least like not out loud or responding, at least until we take break. We always take a break after we finish talking about our games. And then at that point we'll take a break and we'll probably take separate breaks to go and get some drinks and like chat with the actual chat here on Twitch, and then we'll get back into the rest of the actual podcast recording like normal. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to mention that really quick before we got too deep into this recording, you know?
Yes. Well said. So, who's going first today?
You know
I
what? I'll go ahead and go
Yeah,
first because I have
perfect.
a brand new game that just came out not that long ago, within the last couple of weeks, called Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening,
Hmm.
and this is based on the anime from 1984 that I've talked about on my other podcast, the Monthly Mishap that I do with Josh, and I've talked about on here where like I found out about Space Adventure Cobra because I randomly pulled the Sega CD game when I was doing my
Hmm.
Sega CD stream. And I was like, what is this weird ass anime shit? I need to know. And I have fallen headfirst into 1980s anime at this point. And
Yeah.
for whatever reason, someone decided it was a good idea to make a new game based on this anime from 40 years ago in 2025. Why? I don't know. But it's a 2.5D action platformer. So you play through the story. I'm not all the way most of like the main first arc as far as I can tell of Space Adventure Cobra, which is like the first 10 or so episodes of the show, and it gives you snippets of the anime in between like the start and end of each episode. They call each level episodes, and then
Hmm.
within each of those episodes there will be individual stages, and there will be like somewhere between 1 to 4 stages per individual level or episode. And so you're playing as Cobra, you are running to the right and shooting things. It's an action platformer kind of similar to, I don't know, maybe like a Contra or a Mega Man or something like
Yeah.
that, but not quite as difficult as one of those games is, but also still kind of a challenging game, but also a pretty forgiving game. Like you die really, really easily in this game, but the respawn points and the checkpoints are pretty forgiving. So when you die, you don't have to like start the entire level over again. You go
Hmm.
back maybe a screen or two for the most part. And so Cobra has a couple of different abilities that you unlock as you progress through the game. Um, so you have your main gun, which is your psycho gun, which is like this energy projectile. It's your primary weapon, and then you have a handgun. The handgun's useful for defeating certain enemies that have a specific type of barrier in front of them that blocks them from your psycho gun attack. So from your main gun attack, so you have to hit them with that secondary attack and then hit them with your main attack to be able to defeat them. There's other enemies that you have to hit with a melee physical attack to like destroy their shield, and then you can actually do damage to them. There are upgrades that you can find throughout these levels that increase your weapon damage, your total health, the total amount of like energy that you have, which the energy allows you to use this special attack that allows you to essentially like freeze time and then trace a path for your psycho gun's beam to travel along, and you can hit multiple enemies with that at the same time, which is really
Okay.
cool because in the show Cobra's psycho gun, it's essentially like attached to his nervous system, so he doesn't actually have to like aim the energy beam. He has to think about where the target is that he's trying to hit, and then the beam just hits that target, which is how the technology works in the show. So they tried to
Yeah.
mimic that by having you be able to just like trace a path on the screen and then have the gun hit all of those things along this windy path, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So
Do you
so
do
all of
that
that
with
is
like joysticks or
yeah,
you
yeah,
like three?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm playing with my PS5 controller. It like the game's available on I think PS5, modern Xbox, and Steam. I'm playing on Steam. I would play it on PS5, but my PS5 died and I haven't bought another one yet, so womp womp. I can't play it on the PS5. But so yeah, I've been playing it on Steam. It's like $30. So it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cheap. Like this is a budget game. And it does feel like a budget game. Like a lot of the levels end up kind of feeling the same. The enemies, while they change like the enemy model, their general like AI is kind of the same. All of the basic enemies kind of do the same animations despite what their character model looks like. The more powerful enemies will like they some of the enemies will have like a shotgun, and it doesn't matter what the character model looks like all the enemies with a shotgun act the same as all the other enemies with a shotgun, and so on and so forth with all the different enemy types. So like that kind of sucks, but it's still just a really fun run and gun action platformer. So I'm having a good time with it. I'm at the start of the ninth episode right now, and I know where I'm at within the story, and I think it's going to be a total of 12 episodes. And I think it's going to end around, like I said, at the end of like the main arc of the first like season of the show.
Okay. Cool.
I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of what it feels like right now. But yeah, it's a fun action platformer. If
Are
and
you are you having more fun with this one than with Cyber Trash you had last episode?
That's a good question. I think they're about equivalent, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're both kind of basic. I think I like this one maybe just a little bit more just because I have some affiliation with the anime, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
So that's fun, but they do actually feel quite similar now that you mention it. So, yeah, it's it's good. I like
Nice.
it. As for where I would place it on the tier list, I think I wanted to like this game more than I ended up liking it, so I'm gonna place it in the B tier. It's a solid. This is fine.
Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening is
Yeah, it's fine. It's not gonna blow you away. It's a pretty good action platformer. It's a budget title. It's not bad. Like I can't
yeah.
call this game bad. So
Yeah. It's kind of a forgettable game. You want to play it
oh,
if you want to play
yep.
run and gun. And you'll
Yep.
maybe remember, oh yeah, it had the fun shooting mechanic. But other than that, that's just
I
a game.
I'm going to be very interested in like 6 months from now to see what speed runs of this game look like because I bet they're going to be insane.
Yeah, if anyone's interested enough in this game to like build a community around it.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of doubt there's going to be a large community. I might end up trying to run this game or at least run a couple of levels because each individual stage is broken up into like your own time. It gives you a time within each
Mm-hmm.
individual stage and like a score or ranking. So I might go back and like try and run a few of the levels once I finish it just to see what I could do, what kind of times I could put up, and what kind of times the community are putting up, and what kind of community is there. So it
Mm-hmm.
might turn into a speedrun game for me. I don't know for sure yet, but I
Get
I
the
could
world
see.
record.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Like when I go on Twitch, when I stream this game on Twitch, right? It shows you like the stats for you know how many people are currently following this particular game and how many people are currently watching this particular game. And on Twitch, it was like there's 34 people watching this game. It's like so not
Yeah,
exactly the most prominent of releases, you know?
no, for sure.
It's no Silk Song.
No, you think there's more than 34 people watching Silksong right now?
I am 100% sure there are more than 34 people watching Silk Song.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're not going to talk
All
about
right.
that game today.
No, because we just play random shit on
Yep.
this podcast. And I have exactly that for my first game today. So, a couple months back when I was in my rolling ball kick, I had downloaded a game called Marble Runner Pyramid. And I think I was getting exhausted in rolling ball games,
Hmm.
as one do,
Yep.
obviously. And this one, I remember okay, so you control the ball with a virtual joystick. Basically, you drag your thumb around, and it makes the ball roll. Oh, you have a fellow Tommy Ray. Hello, Tommy Ray. Just joined the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, that's my buddy Mike. He literally
Nice.
tried to call me and I just sent him a text telling him that I am recording and then I will call him back in a little while.
Okay, Mike. Scotch is gonna call you back. All right. So you're controlling the ball with your thumb, and you're going around like a big pyramid, but each pyramid is one like block large,
Hmm.
and you have to go around the whole square before you can go up the next level, basically. And each level has its own set of challenges. So like in
Okay.
one in one level you might be avoiding enemies, in other one you're trying to do like tricky movement around along like pretty small platforms. With other ones you might trying to go around bumpers, you might try to go fast enough to go all the way through before the timer and stuff like that. And I remember that I was having a lot of trouble in like the second or third layer where there are a bunch of cannons, and the cannons shoot like every 3 seconds, but if they hit you, they will shoot like right away. And this will make you go fly everywhere. And if you fall down, you can either pay some like gems or whatever to continue back where you were, or you need to go back in the menu and restart the whole layer. So each layer is four sides because it's a squared pyramid. And
Right.
I think the first time I played it, I thought I had to restart the whole pyramid and was like, fuck that. This is way too difficult. But I had some time to do on the road where I wasn't driving. I will talk about that in the hobby time. So I checked my phone, and I didn't want to waste data downloading a new game, so I gave this game another shot. And I managed to go through that difficult section, and then the following layers weren't as bad. I think
Okay.
all in all, there were like 3 or 4 very difficult layers. Like that one with the cannons, there's one where you have to do very precise movement on tiny platforms, and if you fall down, you either fall in lava and have to restart, or you fall down to the other layer and you have to restart anyway. And I think there's one like racing one with bumpers that was quite tricky. So, but every other one I managed to beat in like a couple tries, so it wasn't too bad. And the higher you get in the pyramid, the smaller the radius of the pyramid is, basically. So you have less and less platforming to do.
Okay.
Visually, it looks like a cheap Unity game. It's just like balls and random like low poly models, but I
Right.
mean it's fine. It's totally fine. I like the vibe, even though it's not really great. And I would say the main problem with the game is that the controls are kind of wonky. Like it, I never felt like I was truly in control of the ball. There's
Mhm.
always you really have to tap and tap tap, and you cannot just go straight through lines and be confident in your movement. And the fact that I lost my train of thought. The I guess it will come back. But yeah, the main problem is the controls with the game, and but I managed to get up the top of the pyramid. The last 5 layers are bosses where you just have to kind of dodge bullets, and your ball is attacking automatically to the enemies. So you just do that 5 times. There's one of the bosses where I died because I didn't really know the patterns, but the other time I beat it. It's just like long fights where you're just like moving left and right, waiting for the enemy to die. And yeah, I was going to say the other problem is that movement, there's no like finesse to the whole movement thing.
Right.
You cannot go fast, you cannot go really fast. There's no like technical movements you can do. You can either try to move or move. There's nothing else. You're just rolling a ball slowly around the pyramid.
Okay.
And I guess that's the best description for the game. And once you've beaten the pyramid, you just cannot play the game again. You need to erase your whole file because I'm stuck. If I try to replay a level, my ball won't move anymore. It's just like
Weird. Okay.
it kind of kills itself, and it doesn't even have a win screen. It just ends. Goes back to the menu, and that's done.
I wonder if that's just like a weird programming hang up. Like
Yeah,
I
most likely.
okay.
So yeah, that's Marble Runner Pyramid. Any questions before it goes in the tier list?
No, it sounds okay.
That's where I'm gonna put it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there weren't the option to like restart the layer, like the most high layer that you reached,
Hmm.
this would be like almost trash or even trash, because like redoing each layer over and over would be like insane. But the fact that
Right.
you can just restart where you were and just grind those levels make it just okay. It's fine. It's just fine.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to talk about a game that I've played only a little bit and I've not dug too deep into called Mirage Feathers. This is a Space Harrier clone in most ways. So it's a third person rail shooter where you
Mm-hmm.
play as like an anime girl and you are flying around on rails and shooting a bunch of enemies that are on screen coming at you. It's all pixel art, so that's why I would compare it most to Space Harrier, where like
Okay.
they had like that pixel art where the farther away an enemy was, the smaller it was, and then as it comes closer, the sprite becomes more and more detailed. Like it looks like that old 90s style sprite art
Mm.
100%, which is really really cool. But the thing about this game is that this is a bullet hell.
Okay.
So the
Wow.
enemies are shooting like massive amounts of bullets on the screen at one time, and it just gets insane. And it's pretty fun. I'm having a good
Yeah.
time with this. Yeah.
Wow.
Part of me wants to call it like a rogue-ish type game, but it's not. It's just an arcade style game with a level system.
Okay.
The reason I want to call it a rogue-ish like maybe more light would be that like you earn points as you play through the levels, and those points allow you to purchase upgrades to be able to make yourself stronger so that when you start the game again, you are, you're more powerful. But you never have to start back from the beginning. You could just start back at whatever level you died at. So, like, the first time I tried playing the game, I got to like level 7. And then I
Mhm.
died. I lost all my lives and didn't have any continues. So I got kicked back to the title screen, but I had all these points that I had accumulated, so I was able to buy a bunch of upgrades and then just go right back into level 7 and then keep playing.
Mhm.
So it's much more arcade than
Yeah.
rogue-ish.
It's
Just
an
with,
arcade game with upgrades,
yep,
basically.
yep, perfect. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it other than that. Like, if you like Space Harrier or you like Star Fox or any of those other on rail shooters where you're flying around and just shooting at enemies on screen, and but you want one of those that's just bullet hell, like an
Mhm.
insane number of bullets on the screen, this is the game for you. And it's really fun. It's really fun to play. You have a bunch of different special weapons that you can switch through with like one of the trigger buttons, and each of them does something different. And like you have your primary one, which is just like missiles, lock on missiles, but then you can switch to other ones, and you want to kind of save those other ones because all the extras have limited ammunition, so you don't want to use those unless you're in situations where you actually need to. But yeah, it's really fun. This is a really
Yeah.
really fun game.
I see that
It,
there are a lot of like little girls in underwear. Is
I
that
mean,
any part of the game, or it's like just a couple of like anime-ish
it's
pictures here and there?
it's just the anime characters. It's what they look like.
Okay.
There's no other like motive to that at all. There's story that I have completely skipped because it was boring and I did not care, and I just wanted to get to the shooting stages
Mhm.
because that's what a game like this is about. It's just the shooting
Yes.
stages. Yeah, it's fun. It's
Okay.
like
Cool.
$4 or $5 normally, and
Yeah.
regularly goes on sale for like $2. So
It looks really fun. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
really
sure I'd
fun.
love it.
I've put a couple of hours into it and haven't quite beaten it yet, and I just haven't had time to go back to it yet because I've been so busy these last few
Yeah.
weeks. Um so yeah, good time. I think I would put this right now into our A tier. I think this is a great
Oh,
game. I think this is a really fun arcade shoot 'em up in that Space Harrier style.
oh. And what is the title again for our few folks listening?
Mirage Feathers. Yeah.
All right. I will also go with a short one that I've played a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean like 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes were enough to form a complete opinion on this game. The
Okay.
game is called HyperBowl. So I was looking for free games on my iPhone because I realized that I did not have much to bring to the show.
Uh-huh.
And I stumbled onto this one, and it looked like a 3D platformer with bowling stuff in it, but it's not
Okay.
that. It's just a bowling game, but you have different type of lanes. So you have a normal lane where you shoot your ball and you get the 10 pins, but some of the lanes will be like on a pirate ship, and then you have to go around the pinwheel and the mats and stuff to reach the pins. So
Okay.
that's kind of interesting in a way. But this game has a huge flaw. It's fucking slow. It's the slowest fucking bowling game I've ever played. So
Okay.
the way the game controls that you have to like continuously swipe your screen to make the ball move and you have full control of the ball. Oh, shout out to Blink in the chat. And you control the ball all the way through the pins. So you can really just swipe it and so
Full
I
control.
mean
I gotcha.
yeah. So like for the normal lane, that's like whatever, but for the like the special ones with a bunch of obstacles in the middle of it, that's where it's all about. But once you hit the pin, you have to wait a couple seconds to see the animation of the pins going down. And then you have to wait a couple seconds for the score showing up. And then for the total score of your game. And then for the resetting of the pins. And then for your ball to come back. So shooting the ball takes maybe 5 seconds, but the wait between each shot is like 20 seconds. So you're playing a bowling game, but most of the time you're just waiting for the next ball to shoot the next ball. And
man, they really wanted you to capture that feeling of being in a bowling alley and just waiting for your ball to come back, didn't they?
exactly, but also in a pirate ship somehow.
Okay.
So, like, I like visually, it looks like a weird N64 game that was lost to time. I really like the vibe. It reminded me of Milo's Astro Lane on Nintendo 64, which is another like weird bowling game.
Yeah.
But man, it's so slow. And then it also doesn't save your game. So I did like maybe
Lame.
3 frames. I closed the app, went on with my day, and then reopened the app, and I couldn't continue my game. So you have to go through that whole 10 frame game in one sitting on your phone, or it doesn't count.
Wow, that sucks.
Yes, so I really wanted to like this game because it sounds fun and the different kind of lanes is fun, but there's just absolutely no settings. You cannot. The only setting that you have is like strength of your swipe. That's that's the only thing. So I think it needs to go back in the trash. Like it's just I don't see anyone having the patience to play a full game of this, a full bowling game of this game. Yeah, and because of that, I cannot like. There's a fun idea right there, but right now in this current state, it's not. It's not even almost trash. It's just not good. Really not good.
Right. All right. So the next game I want to talk about is Golf with Your Friends. And I've been playing this by myself instead of with friends, which is not the way this game is intended to be played. But I got this really cheap on Steam, and it's something that I've talked with you about playing. It's something I've talked with some other friends about playing, and I really just wanted to see what the game was before actually like committing to, setting a time where we could sit down and play together or whatever,
Yeah.
And what it is it, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's mini golf, but it's kind of wacky mini golf. Some of the lane or some of the courses are more normal, more akin to what you would find in like, a mini golf course that we would go to. Maybe not like a professional tournament style mini golf course where you're going to always be able to have the opportunity to hit a hole in one, but most of the holes are going to be like par threes. Some of them are going to be par twos, and then you'll have a few par fours and par fives. But then when you get into the more wacky lanes, you'll get into like par sevens and par nines, and it's like you have to knock you have to knock your golf ball like over a jump and onto another part of the course and then over another jump and onto another part of the course and like go through like teleporters or wind tunnels or black holes or and all this weird random stuff. And even just playing by myself, this game's really fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm having a good time with it.
From what I'm seeing on this, like those trailers and everything, it feels like the balls, you have some kind of control of the ball after you hit it, or it's just
A little bit. So like once you hit it, you can press a button to like apply a brake to it to try and make it stop a little bit faster. And I
okay.
think the only other thing that you can do is make it like jump, so you can hop
Okay.
over an obstacle if something's getting in your way. I haven't found either of those two things super useful yet, but I'm sure there's uses for them that I'm not seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um but the other thing that I think is really fun is that there's alternative game modes. And the one that I've actually had a lot of fun with is there's a hockey mode where your ball turns into a puck. And so it feels a little bit more like a puck in terms of how it flows across the course. But the holes don't change at all, except where the hole would be. Instead of trying to knock your ball into the cup, they've set up a goal, and there's like this little cardboard goalie that's moving back and forth and kind of moving erratically across the goal, and you have to try and hit it into the goal instead of hitting it into a cup like you would with mini
Mm-hmm.
golf. And so I thought that was really fun. There's a basketball mode also. You have to hit the ball and then click the jump button and make it jump into the air and try and get into the basket. And I found that really difficult to control. And like there, you'd be like so close to the basket that you hit the ball and then have to immediately click the mouse again, and it would like jump, but then jump over the backboard, and there was no way to really control that. So like you be farther back away from the backboard and then hit it
Mm-hmm.
towards it and then jump into it. So I found that really, really difficult. And I also don't really like basketball, but I do like hockey. So I found the hockey more fun.
Yeah.
And then like you earn different skins and hats and things for your ball. So all that's fun. Like this game's it's a fun mini golf game that you can play with people or play on your own, and it's a good time.
Oh, did you hit the? Do you hit the par most of the time? Do you have a good score, a good card score?
So I've gotten better, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to get like my last run through on one of the courses, I was able to get like something like 10 under par, because like there was
Nice.
a par 7 where I hit it in on 3, and then like I got a hole in one, and then like a couple of birdies and like an eagle. So like all of that was really great, but then sometimes there will be a par 3 and it'll just be like it'll kind of fuck you over, and it'll be like I just hit this par 3 in 8, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know? And it's just
Yeah, for
like, oh,
sure.
I just barely fucked that up. Oh, I just barely fucked it up again. So, and then like penalties for knocking the ball off the course. So like on the ones where like you have to jump over something, if you don't make it onto the other part of the green, you'll end up taking a penalty for knocking it off the course. And it's like, well, I hit it too far and it bounced too far off the course. But then the next time I just hit it a little bit too short, and I got it like up the hill and off the jump, but I didn't get it quite to the next part of the green. So now I've taken
Mm-hmm.
2 shots plus 2 penalties. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So
Other
all of
question.
that just
How?
comes with learning. So
Yeah. How does the control works? Are you like clicking and going back down, or is it more like Mario Golf with a bar, or how is it?
so it's a bar. So you're pressing and holding and then adjusting how hard you want to hit it. So like it's not like Tiger Woods where like you had to hit it, you have to press and then do the quick time event where you have to like
Mm-hmm.
as the bar moves, you
Yeah.
you just press and hold and you say, you know,
You have all the time to like set up your shot.
yep, you have all the time in the world
Okay.
to set up how hard you want to hit it, and you have like maximum, minimum. So you move the mouse forward a little bit, and it just fills the meter as you're moving the mouse forward, lowers the meter as you're moving the mouse back. So you have all that control, and then you do have a camera mode where you can go into the camera and like zoom around and look at the course, but it only gives, and you can adjust the amount of excuse me, it only gives you a limited amount of time to look at the course, and you can adjust how much time you have to look at the course. You can adjust how much time you have to take your shot. So you can make it really frantic and crazy and be like, everybody only has 15 seconds to make their shot, and everybody only has 10 total seconds to look at the course in the entire totality of the time that we're on this particular hole. And that will make it really, really frantic. We're like, okay, I only have 15 seconds. I don't have time to think about how I want this shot to be set up. I need to just aim and shoot and be done with it. Or you can, but playing by myself, I don't like that quite as much. Like, that would be really fun with a group of friends, but playing by myself, I've extended that time out so I have a little bit more time to like take a look around, look and see where my shots are actually going to go, and have a chance to like adjust those little parameters to be like, oh, I want it to go a little bit more to the right, a little bit more to the left, maybe put a little bit more power on it, and then wait for the obstacles to be exactly out of my way, and then go, and then maybe I get it in the hole, and maybe I don't. So really fun. I'm enjoying it. This is a good game. We're gonna have to play it together for sure.
Oh yeah. So it's not golf with yourself anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't want to continue golfing with myself. I want to golf with friends.
Nice. So, where do you want to put golf with your friends on the tier list?
I think it deserves to be in the A tier as a great game. I could see myself bumping this up simply for like the multiplayer action. Like, if we got 4 of our friends all together in a chat and we're all playing this at the same time and playing super frantically, like, that would be so much fun. I would have a blast doing that.
Oh yeah.
So I could see bumping it up because of that, for sure.
Cool.
It's fun. Really good game.
Awesome.
I would like to mention really, really quickly, there's a really shitty mini golf game on the PlayStation Store that's trying to mimic what this game does, except none of the physics work.
Nice.
And that game is terrible, and I don't remember what it's called. But if you see a shitty mini golf game on the PlayStation Store, don't buy it, because it's probably not good.
Yeah, I think Steve, our friend Blink, is a master of those shitty mini golf games. So
no, this is like one of the worst mini golf games that I've ever played. Like, there are loop de loops on the course, but instead of the ball like following the loop, it treats it as though it's a ramp. So nice. Like you just go up and off the loop, and you can never get around it. Nice. Shit like that. Like, yeah, like it does not know how physics work within the game. It's a shitty game. Golf with your friends is not that. Like, golf with your friends actually understands it, but that game, God, screen is set up in a very particular way to have like the stream set up, so I can't do all the Googling. I could do it on my phone, but that's like harder. I don't want to do that. I don't feel like typing on my touch screen. So there is this game on the PlayStation Store that I don't remember the name of, and it copies a lot of the same golf courses from Golf with Your Friends. Like, just blatantly, but with worse physics. Bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I couldn't find it that quick.
Okay. Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's not give any attention to this fucking game.
Yep.
All right. Well, I also have some mini golf game to talk about.
You do.
Because, yes, my brother Felix is big on VR games. He loves his VR headset, is always like VR chatting and stuff. And he told me, yeah, Walkabout mini golf is the best VR mini golf I've played. The physics are just wonderful, and I found out that they have an iOS version. You should buy it and you should try it because you love mini golf, Max. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. So I bought the game. It was like $8 on the iOS, so pretty much nothing. And it includes like 15 different courses. Well, it includes like 15 different courses with 2 difficulties each. So you have like 30. I don't know what the higher difficulty changes so far because I've only played the first ones yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes with a bunch of free stuff, and then you can also buy more courses for like $3 each, which I I mean, I know the game was only $8, but it can get really out of hand. Like you can buy for like $100 of courses for an $8 game. That's
So I'm just gonna say really quick, it's $5 on the App
okay.
Store.
Yeah,
Uh
it's 8 Canadian. That's why.
oh yeah, I forgot. You have Canada dollars. So
Oh yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
$5. So yeah. Anyway, so this game is just like some classic 3D mini golf game. You get your ball and then you hold and move back to make like the power go up, and
Mhm.
you just release whenever you feel like it, and you have to like aim from left to right to go to the holes. I'm fucking explaining mini golf right now. You know how a mini
Yeah.
golf game works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of the holes are like par threes, so you get like one putt to get near the hole, one putt to get the birdie, and if you miss it, you get another putt for the par.
Right.
That's most
Yeah.
of the holes. And it starts really fairly normal, and the deeper you get into the game, the more wacky it gets. Like you have
Mhm.
gravity, alternating obstacles, you have to jump like into a windmill, and the windmill is also part of the mini golf course, and it will bring your ball somewhere else, and like a bunch of weird stuff like that. And I would say that so far I'm having fun with the game, but I think the VR version is probably way, way, way superior.
Probably. Yeah. Considering it was built for it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool that it works really well on phone, but the camera mode is just doesn't really work. Like
Mhm.
often you will have some obstacles that I feel are meant to make you go like have vertigo in VR because you're supposed to putt like real slow so that your ball will drop like 30 feet down, but trying to move forward on the phone to look down, you don't have that kind of control with the camera on the
Mhm.
iOS version. So you can just like go forward and backward, but you cannot move the camera up and down. So there are fairly often holes where I just don't know where to putt. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just
Right.
send it. So I have to lose a couple putts figuring out the course, and there also are often like holes where you have to putt like through a gap, and you just have to putt super hard so you get to the other side. But that kind of putt is really random because I don't know what's the actual real force that I need to putt. Because if I putt super hard, then the ball bounces everywhere. But if I shot like mid force, then it doesn't go all the way. So
Right.
those holes are kind of dumb. And finally, the physics is really good, but there's no like bounciness to the ball with like the sides. So if you miss the hole, you will never get like a rebound from the side of the hole that will go back into the hole. It will most often just stop at the side of the course and just lay there, and then you can do the final putt right after. So I
Mhm.
wish there was a bit more bounciness to like add more excitement to the game though. So even though you miss your putt, you can like come back near the hole and maybe get it.
Right.
So but other than that, it does exactly what a mini golf game should do. It works well, the controls are fine, except for those couple of weird holes where I'm not sure about the force on those first spots. But other than that, it's fun. It's mini golf. It's wacky. There's a lot of teams. Yeah, teams with ThemeS. Like
Yeah.
I had one that I was into like courses made out of sweets, one where it's like kind of a billiard environment, one is like an elf section from the Lord of the Rings. So there's a lot of variety, and from what I've read, everything is like designed by hand by the creator of the game. So that's also like really nice. It's not just like some slot that's being pushed around and
Right,
more
yeah.
courses. It's really designing his own courses from top to bottom, and I like
And
that.
making sure they work the way he wants them to.
Yeah, exactly. Every different hole has an obvious like intent for
Right.
it like to exist. So that's really good.
Sweet.
I
Where would
will
you
put,
like to put the iOS version?
I think for the iOS version, I have to go for This Is Fine.
Okay.
I think it's just I think the VR version is most likely probably superior in every way. And the fact that it works so well is good, but I think it could work even better. So for that, I will say This Is Fine. And like most of the courses, I got like 6 under par, 10 under par. So you can really get used to the physics. So it works
Right.
well. I have a fun time just wasting time on my phone with it. But yeah, it just makes me want to try the VR version.
Yeah, that's fair. Unfortunately, it's not PSVR 1. It's only PSVR 2, which I do not
Dang.
have. I do have the VR 1, which I've been meaning to get back into. I might do that at some point in time in the near future because I did buy some games for the VR and just haven't played them yet. So,
Yeah. You'll need a new console though.
well, if I wanted the PSVR 2, I would need a new PS5. The VR 1 can play on the
Okay.
PS4.
Oh,
So,
cool. Nice.
so I can play that. It's just a matter of it's a lot of wires, it's a lot of setup to play a game that I'm maybe gonna play for like 2 hours. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm going to. I think what I would like to do is maybe find some time where I'm gonna have some time off work and I don't have anything else that I need to work. Then be able to just like sit down and play a couple of hours of VR every day for like 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. And
Yeah.
be able to actually have some time where I can spend with it and not have to worry about like putting all of those wires away, every
Yeah.
time.
It's yeah. VR it just takes a
It's a
lot
lot.
of like setup. Yeah.
Yep,
It's a lot.
yep, it's a lot.
Cool.
Last game that I have to talk about today is 007 The World Is Not Enough for PS1. And I just finished this game like an hour and a half before we started getting ready to record this. So like
Yeah.
4 hours ago almost at this point, like maybe exaggerating a little bit, but technical difficulties aside, it was just earlier today that I finished the last level in this game. So this is a first-person shooter on the PS1, and this is before dual analog control. So controls in this game are a little weird. And I'm going to describe them to you as best as I can because your primary movement is D-pad, but that's tank controls. So forward always moves you forward, back moves you back, left and right, turn you left or right. But to be able to strafe, you have to use R2 and L2, which feels a little weird and awkward at first. But once you play through this game for like an hour, so like the first couple of levels at most, you get a hang of that really quickly. At least I did. I could see people who like have not played tank control games in the past really, really having a problem with this control scheme. But I did not have a problem with this at all. Once I got through that initial learning curve, like realizing how I was supposed to be playing this game, I was flying through levels and just like I'm strafing left while I'm moving forward, coming up to a corner. So I turn and I move forward through the corner, and then I see that there's another corner coming up. So I would just turn my character and then hold L2, so I'm strafing while looking at the corner that I'm supposed to be coming up on, so that when I come onto that corner, I'm looking down the hallway that I'm supposed to be coming down, so that I can see if any enemies are there. Instead of
Mhm.
turning with the right analog stick as I approach the corner, you just have to change your mindset a little bit and approach before the corner actually comes up.
Yeah.
So once I got used to that, this game's really fun. Like, it's a James Bond game. So it's a lot of first person shooting. You're killing a lot of guys, got a bunch of different enemies, or a bunch of different weapon types, I should say, and a bunch of different gadgets. And the gadgets are only, a lot of them are single use in just a particular level, but everything that you can interact with is like outlined in this kind of either green or red box, depending on whether or not you're close
Mhm.
enough or not close enough to interact with it. So that kind of tells you it's not like some of the old adventure games where you're running around and you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to touch next.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what you're supposed to interact with, what switch you're supposed to, what part of a control panel is actually interactable and what's not. But yeah, it's playing through the story of The World Is Not Enough, which is a pretty okay Bond movie. It's probably not my favorite, but Denise Richards is great. She was a bombshell in the 90s and still is to this day. Her polygonal PS1 bottle is not, but there's FMV
Ah,
cutscenes.
nice. Of the movie?
uh Yeah, from the movie, but they're
Mhm.
crunched down. So I'm playing this in 4:3, and they're
Mhm.
crunched down into like a tiny little window box because there's a lot of cutscene.
Oh, wow.
There's probably 15 minutes of this movie on this game disc, which is a lot of FMV. So they really had to squish that shit down into like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, maybe 160 by 240 or something like that. It's really small pixelated, but it looks pretty good for a PS1 game. I'm sure it would look better on a CRT than it does on my, 720p TV that I have in my game room, that I have specifically because it makes retro games look a little bit better than a 1080p monitor does.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good. The game overall plays pretty well if you can get past the control. And yeah, it's a fun James Bond time. Like, if you've seen that movie, you know what you're getting yourself into. If you played any James Bond game, you know what you're getting yourself into. Like, yeah, it's good game. Good first person shooter. The shooting controls feel pretty good. You have like kind of that so you do have like an aiming reticle, but it does that thing where that like Doom does, where if you're kind of aiming in the general direction of somebody, it'll lock onto them and just shoot at that enemy. So you don't
Yeah.
have to be actually 100% focused on each individual enemy, and then you can enter an auto aim mode by holding R1. You can like aim across the screen by using the D-pad. Very similar to how GoldenEye played on the Nintendo 64, where you can
Yeah.
aim in that way. Yeah,
Do you have
shorter
any,
than
do you have any, like, alternate move styles where you can play with two controllers, like with GoldenEye,
no,
or? Oh,
no,
okay.
no, nothing like that. Unfortunately, so because this was before dual analog controls, before they even released the dual analog controller for PS1, there's
Yeah.
no analog control at all in this game, which
Okay,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
awesome if I could have played in a way similar to that. I'm sure there's some hack out there that allows you to control this game with dual analog. Or at least it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if there was, but I don't know how much like digging into the game file somebody would actually have to do to do that, because you can't really aim up and down without being in that secondary aim mode. But when you're in that secondary aim mode, you can't move because you have to aim with the
Yeah.
D-pad. So there's probably some programming fuckery there that makes it maybe not possible. I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Like,
still.
I played the PS1 disc on my PS2. Like,
That's
I'm
of
not looking.
course.
I'm not looking for hacks into the ISO. You
No.
know.
Oh, I'm super unfamiliar with the PS1 and with this movie, but it sounds like a fun, like retro jank
It's
FPS
not
time.
even that jank. Like it's really it controls quite well for a
Okay,
PS1 first person shooter that doesn't have dual analog. Like it controls as well as any other.
for a janky shit, it controls fairly well.
Yeah, sure. All right. I get your point. I understand, Max. I understand the point you're trying to make. If you're used to having dual analog controls, you're probably going to have a bad time with this game. But if you
Yeah,
play a lot of PS1 games, you're probably going to be okay.
yeah, yeah. Cool. So, where is James Bond gonna land on the tier list? Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam,
uh
bam.
you, you
Ba-dam,
know,
ba-dam, bam.
it's probably This Is Fine. It's probably a B
Yeah.
tier. It's high end. It's higher on that B tier. Like it almost wants to make its way into that A tier because like I think this game is really good for what it is, but I don't think I can quite justify calling it great.
Yeah.
But it's good. I really
Cool.
enjoyed my time with it. It's well worth playing. I'm sure you can get a copy of this for like
Hmm.
$10 or something. Like it's a licensed James Bond game on the PlayStation 1. Like they made 30 million copies of this disc.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
for
not a
sure.
rare game or something, you know?
And how long was it?
But it's probably 6 hours maybe.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 11 levels that you have to play through. A couple of the levels had kind of a couple of the levels were a little shitty where I had to like replay them cuz
Hmm.
I couldn't figure out exactly what I was supposed to do next and then I died. Or just like the level like there's one level where you're being chased by helicopters and they're like shooting missiles at you and stuff. So like if you're not just constantly moving, your health will just be tore up by these helicopters because they're shooting missiles at you.
Yeah.
So you really have to know where you're going in a few of these stages. And so like 3, 4 playthroughs of an individual level, but like that's not uncommon for a level based game from like
Nah.
97, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But once you know where you're going, you can get through a level 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes
Cool.
max.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
s- I'm sure speed runs of this game are
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Most likely.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
because like yeah, good times. It's a
And,
good game. I enjoyed it.
and unrelated, well, semi-related. How familiar are you with the James Bond franchise?
I,
Have you seen all the movies and stuff?
I am very familiar with James Bond. So being a child of the '90s, grew up with the Pierce Brosnan movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like I had seen, so I think I had seen like this one and GoldenEye probably, and then we were shown all of like the Sean Connery and Roger Moore movies because like what's the best way to put this? There was somebody that we were living with when we were when we were kids. Like so my mom had her partner that was living with us when we were like I don't know 10, 12, something like that. And she showed us a bunch of these older movies and also like showed us old Star Trek. Like I was shown most of like William Shatner's original run of Star Trek before I saw more than like 5 episodes of The Next Generation. So, same kind of thing with James Bond. I was shown all of these classic Bond movies, all the Sean Connery and Roger Moore movies when I had only seen like 2 or maybe 3 of the Pierce Brosnan movies um
Mm-hmm.
from the 90s. So, I'm very familiar with Bond. I've seen the vast majority of the movies, so I am familiar with the series just kind of in general. I like Roger Moore. Roger Moore is probably my favorite James Bond. I like his movies kind of the best. But yeah, I like Bond. I like the Bond movies quite
Cool,
a bit.
cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen Skyfall. That's my whole exposure
Okay.
to James Bond. I have not seen any other movies. Like I know, I no, I don't. I know there's one movie where he does like snowboarding, I think,
Yeah,
and
probably a few.
that's basically all I know about Bond.
Yeah. The older movies are a little corny for sure. A lot of bad guys that are just like, well, I want to take over the world, you know?
Horse.
Yeah. Kind of Lex Luthor kind of bad guys, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take over the world through real estate. I would say like Man with the Golden Gun is definitely worth watching. Like Octopussy's pretty good. It's been so long. Those ones stand out to me.
Yeah. Oh.
A list, which I'm not going to pull up right now, but if I pulled up a list of movies, I could probably tell you like a few that I think were 100% worth checking out. So,
Cool. Yeah, I probably should go back and watch a few whenever
but
I
yeah,
have
it
time.
it's been a while since I've gone back and revisited any of those old movies. Like I've watched a couple of the 90s ones with Brosnan since my childhood, and like I've seen a couple of the Daniel Craig movies, but I've not gone back probably since before 2004 was the last time I went back and watched any
Okay,
of the
wow.
movies from like the
Mhm.
70s or the 80s.
Cool stuff. I have absolutely no way to tie this into my next game. So
All right, so
I'm just,
Baba is you.
Baba is You is a pretty famous block pushing puzzle game.
It sure
How
is.
much how much do you know about it? I know it's not really your genre of game, but how much do you know about Baba is You?
I know the name because it's kind of infamous among just like indie game circles. And I know that you have played a bunch of games from this developer and talked about them
Yeah,
on the podcast.
yeah,
That's my
basically.
extent. I have never played
Okay,
this game.
cool stuff. Cool stuff. So Baba is You is a block pushing puzzle game, and the whole mechanic is that you're pushing the rules of the game itself. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
like this is why the game is called Baba is You, because the main character is a Baba, is like the white thing, and when you have a rule that says Baba is you, that means that you're controlling Baba. But if, let's say, you have a rock in the level and you also have the word rock, then you can push the rock to move Baba away, and then rock is you, and then you start controlling the rock. And if
Okay.
you make Baba is rock, then the Baba character will become a rock. So that's the whole mechanic of the game. You're everything that you need to know about the level is in the level, because that's how the game works. So
Yep.
if
So
there is a
single
wall,
screen puzzle.
yeah. So if there is a wall and the wall needs to block you, there needs to be a rule somewhere in the level that says wall is stuck. Otherwise, the wall won't stop you. You can just go through it. It's like a background thing. And if
Okay.
that rule that the wall is stopping you is not like stuck somewhere on the side of the level, then you can move it away, and then the wall will stop stopping you because you moved the rule away and it's not connecting anymore.
Right.
So yeah, the same thing. If you have Baba is you and you move the U away, then you're not Baba anymore, so you cannot play the game. You basically lost because you're not controlling anything in the level. Beating every level is about getting your U character to the win condition. And the win condition is always like flag is win or something like that. And if you
Okay.
have flag is win, that means you have to move on the flag to win. But if it says rock is win, then you have to move on the rock, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
started this game back because I've never beaten it. So I played it almost 10 years ago now, and I really liked it. But back then, I had a mindset where I really wanted to beat the game 100%. So I was beating every world, every level, every puzzle before going to the next one. And I got into a couple of puzzles where there's like 50 steps to prepare for the solution. And like, I remember vividly doing one puzzle, having all the steps, and was like, I figured all the tricks of this level, and I missed it by like one tile. I went online to check the actual solution, and like, that was exactly what I did, but I missed the setup by like one or two tiles, like 50 steps back, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's shitty. I'm not liking this puzzle anymore, and I kind of stopped playing this
Right.
at
Yeah.
that point because I was like, oh, I don't feel like learning like this 50-step puzzle. So I just had a hunch to start this back up, and this time I went with the mindset of I want to beat the game. So like in every world you will have a set of levels that you need to beat to actually like beat that world. So let's say there's 12 puzzles, you only have to beat 7 of those. So once I reach that cutoff, I just move on to the next world. And so far I have beaten 8 of the 10 worlds that I have unlocked, and I have not got stuck too much. Like there are like maybe 2 or 3 puzzles where I really had to work for like 20 minutes to just figure out the solution. I was like, okay, I've tried like 5 different things right now. I feel like I'm getting close, but I'm not doing the right things, and I have my haha moment. I was like, oh, okay, I actually have to move that thing on the left because that's the whole thing. So there are a couple of those where it really took me some time, but for the most part, like 5 to 10 minutes. Like the first one, they went really quickly because I was familiar with the game and I've played so many games from this developer that I kind of know how it thinks now. But those later levels gets fairly complicated, but even those I can get through it for in like 5 to 10 minutes, and I get that solution coming up to me, and I'm never stuck for too long. So far, playing the game with that mindset made me enjoy the game more than before. Even though like before, I was having a blast because the game is really fucking smart, but like those weird levels where there are too many steps was really hurting my enjoyment of the game. And yeah, there's a big twist in the game, I guess we could call that, where in a couple of levels you actually have the whole level as a word, as a keyword, and you can transform the level itself into Baba and then start moving Baba into the world map and get to more extra challenging levels. So I found that back, like I had found it like way back when I played it 10 years ago, and I found it back again, but I have not gotten too deep into that section because I'm trying to finish the main world before it. So I'm not totally sure like what's the beating condition or where or when I can get credits. So right now I'm just playing through levels, trying to beat all the worlds and see where this is going because
Right.
I legit don't know when the game ends because it feels like there's a lot of hidden layers to the game. So hopefully I can get to the credits in the next few weeks because I'm having a lot of fun like with this game. It's truly like the ultimate block pushing game. It's hard to get more like smart and weird than pushing the rules of the game itself while playing a
Right.
puzzle game. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it's really something. And there's also like a level editor that released a couple years back, and people have made like crazy stuff. Like I think there's a Pac-Man replica that's all built using the rules of the games where it just says like this thing will move, this thing will collect this thing when you move on this thing, and he actually yeah, you can basically program other games using this game. It's pretty wild.
Wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So yeah, Baba is you. Any questions from unknown block pusher?
No.
All right. So Baba is you goes solidly into absolute bangers. This game is just my like
Understandable.
my yeah. It's really like pushed the bar for block pushing puzzle games, and I think it will take really something phenomenal to like top this one. It's truly like the highest end of block pushers. Like my
Right.
main complaint is that some of those puzzles are too long for its own good and too tough for its own good. But at the same time, you're not forced to beat everything. So like
Right. Yeah.
whatever, it's fine to have a couple of pretty insane puzzles in there. So yeah, Baba is You is an absolute bangers, and I can't wait to see what the game has left to offer.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's our game. Should we move on to some actual hobby time, though?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay. So, as we move on to hobby time, I have an update for my compost pile, which is
Ooh,
kind of a hobby,
exciting. Yeah, for
but
sure.
also kind of not a hobby. Like it's a thing that I've been doing. I've been doing
Yeah.
it consistently since last winter. So almost a year now. I was having no problems with it at all for like the first 5, 6 months. You know, the
Okay.
combination of food and yard waste and cardboard and everything. Everything was going fine. And then at some point over the summer, either an opossum or a raccoon started constantly digging into the compost pile and just
Okay.
like digging up all of the food scraps that I was putting into it, therefore removing all of the nutrients that I was trying to add into the pile of compost, right?
Yeah.
So what I've ended up having to do was I bought a big rubber tub, and I fill the bottom of it with like cardboard and leaves and some other brown stuff, some
Okay.
carbon based stuff, and then it has a locking top. So it has latches on the top that only my opposable thumbs as a fucking advanced mammal can pop.
Okay.
So, and then I drilled a bunch of holes in it so that it gets airflow and it can get water when it rains, or I can spray it with water and it just fucking gets water inside of it and whatnot. But now I'm dumping all of my food scraps inside of this tub. So this big 15-gallon plastic bin that's just sitting in my compost pile on top of the rest of the compost with a bunch of
Okay.
holes in it. So like ants and worms and shit can get up into it if they need to, and stuff can get into it from the top. So like flies and gnats and stuff can get into it from the top to help break down all the organic matter. Water can get into it. All the things that are needed for natural biological breakdown of organic matter to be able to make compost that I need for my gardens.
All right.
But the raccoons and the opossums cannot get into this tub because they do not have opposable thumbs and they cannot break the locks on the side of the. So
Yes.
all of the food and stuff gets thrown in there, and then I wait for like a month or so, and it all gets broken down enough to where it's like this kind of slop, this soup that's kind of nasty and whatnot, and I dump all that out and I mix it in with the rest of the fucking dirt and compost and everything else that's already down in there. But it's not scraps of carrots and celery and garlic that the raccoons are specifically attracted to that they want to eat. Now it's just this decomposing matter in this like midway state in between full decomposition to where it's just its base nutrients, but also not something that like the animals are just going to want to eat that aren't, you know, the good insects. So that's kind of where I'm at with the compost, is that I'm having to do this monthly cycle of put everything in this bin, dump the bin out, refill the bin, put all the food scraps in the bin every month, and then at the end of the month I dump the bin out again, and then I mix all that in with the rest of the compost pile, and then start the bin over again. So that's where I'm at with that. It's a solution that is not perfect, but it also is working for my particular situation.
Perfect. That sounds more than reasonable. I mean, fucking raccoons, right?
Yeah. I see their little paw prints on top of that fucking bin all the time.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, they're trying. They can smell the food in there and they want it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not letting them get at it. So,
you
they were
better not.
taking it.
You better not. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other bit of hobby time that I wanted to talk about was just I've been doing some woodworking. This was like the side job that I was talking about that has taken up like the last 2 weeks of my life. So last year there was I built some benches that I was talking about for a guy that has a booth out at the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
He wanted me to do some additional work for him. So it's been like some carpentry work out on his booth out there at the Renaissance Festival, but then here at home I've had to do some additional work that I've had to do and then take out there to the booth, which was building a fence gate because his building is a 2-story building, like shop floor on the first floor and then storage up on the second floor. He wanted people to not have access to the second floor, so he wanted me to build a gate, which is just like a simple fence picket gate, you know, but it's still something where like it's easier for me to just build that at home and then take it out there and attach it to the building. So I did that.
Okay.
And then he wanted me to build some shutters for his windows. Have to worry about taking all of his product down at night at the end, because Renaissance Festival usually runs like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He doesn't want to have to take all of his product and put it into bins and take it back upstairs into storage. He wants to just be able to close the windows, close the doors, lock everything, and not have to move anything, and then reset it up the next day. So I built him some shutters to cover his windows with like locks on them. So he can just close the shutters, lock them, not have to worry about packing up any of his product. He's a leather worker, so he makes bracers and bags and belts and things like that out of leather. So he just it's all fairly lightweight stuff, but he just wants to not have to pack it all up and then put it all back up the next morning. So I built these bifold shutters. They're real. They look like they belong in a Renaissance Festival, but with like modern hardware, so that they completely fold out to the sides so that they're out of the way and they can latch back to the sides. And then they fold back and completely close the window off, and you can put a lock on from the inside. And like that's a project that took a bit of time, just like making sure that everything was working the way that it needed to be working, because it's not something that I had actually done before, you know?
Cool. Yeah. And were you able to make it on your first try?
Mostly. I need so I have them. I need to buy some different hinges to get them to fold back as far as he wanted them to fold back, because he wants them to be able to like fold back completely to where they're like flush up against the building, which I was not able to do with the hinges that I bought, which I thought the hinges that I bought were gonna be able to do that, but they like the wood interfered with the actual hinge mechanism back as far as he was wanting them to. So it's just a matter of replacing the hinges at this point, which is not a big deal, but and I've told him, like, you know, this is the job that I'm getting paid for. And like, that hinge issue is 100% on me. He doesn't have to like pay me extra money for the fucking additional hardware that I have to purchase. That's on me for not making sure that what I installed worked exactly how he wanted.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's just a matter of replacing some hinges at this point. It'll take me fucking 30 minutes when I go back out there with the new hinges to put them on there. It's whatever. But that was it is I'm calling it hobby time because it is a lot of working and a lot of like working with my hands and lot of what I was doing.
Yeah.
But you know, it was also like a second job that I was doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, because it is a lot of work.
Do you have a woodworking portfolio? Is this something that you want to expand, or just this one guy and whatever?
It's something that I am trying to expand. When I built the benches for him last year, I gave a bunch of business cards to both him and the person that I know who. So one of my friends was. I don't know if I don't want to say names because I don't want to be that specific. So one of my friend's wives is his assistant.
Okay.
And I gave that woman, my friend's wife, some of my business cards, and that guy that I've done work for, some of my business cards to hand out to other people to be like, if you need work done, you know, fucking hit me up. You can send me an email, you can send me a text, you can call me, whatever. I never got anybody like actually holler extra work, but like doing that to help put my name out there is like I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like if you want me to do work for you, I'm willing to, and I'm trying to expand that a little bit more. Like I've been doing some woodworking on and off. It's expensive. Wood is expensive to purchase, so making a bunch of things to be able to sell requires a lot of upfront investment. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking all the money that I'm from this job that I'm currently doing and I'm investing that back into I'm gonna buy a bandsaw for myself because that's something that I kind of desperately need for a few projects that I've been wanting to work on. Not like a big bandsaw, but I want to buy like a 14-inch bandsaw, like a pretty small one. One that's gonna be big enough for the kind of things that I want to do. And then spend the rest of that money on just lumber.
Cool.
And just completely reinvest this money into that, and then have that lumber to be able to make a bunch of things that I can then turn around and sell to then be able to make more money.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I would like to be able to turn this into more of a thing where I'm making more money consistently. Whether or not I'm going to turn it into like a full-fledged business or something, I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out over the next couple of years. But it's not going to be something that I can just do instantaneously, you know, just because life gets in the way, and like we have like a problem with our roof right now that we're going to have a fucking contractor come out and take a look at, because I'm not a roofer. So it's not something that I'm going to be able to just fix myself. Unlike other problems with the house, you know, some things I can do myself, some things I have to hire somebody to be, just because I don't have the skill set to be able to do it. And I don't like being on roofs. I'll just be honest with that. I don't like being up there. I don't want to fall, 15 feet and break my fucking arms accidentally because I was trying to replace a couple of shingles.
Yeah. That's totally fair. Absolutely. Fuck roofs.
So I'll pay somebody else to do that for me.
Okay, I just opened raccoon beer I bought for this episode.
Yeah.
It's extremely weird.
Is it?
So it says that it's herb lager, but
okay.
I'm not sure what kind of herb they use. It tastes to me like herbs you would put like on a beef brisket kind of thing.
Okay.
It I
But
don't
it's a
know.
lager,
It's a lager, yeah, but
so
the
it's a
herb
cold brew. I
the
wonder if
herb
it's
is
like,
really going through.
does it taste kind of like oregano a little bit?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I was thinking maybe
Maybe a little bit of thyme in there.
I'm trying to see what's. I have the name in French right now. Maybe a bit of rosemary, also.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in that vein. Oregano, rosemary. That it's near that kind of herb taste. It doesn't really taste like beer. It tastes like I'm drinking my spice rack.
Okay, so very herbaceous. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, very very herbaceous. It's. I'm gonna be frank. I'm not sure I like it. It's extremely weird.
That's
But I
unfortunate.
like. Yeah, I like weird usually, but this one it's maybe pushing it
Do you need to go
a
get
little
another
bit.
beer?
Nah, it's fine. I have nothing else, so
Okay.
anyway, I will have to deal with that. And I just drank this big ass 6.9%
Nice.
soured barreled aged ale, and this was fucking delicious. This is what I strive for. This is exactly that kind of. It's really complex. It tastes soury. It tastes barrely. It's like between a wine and a beer. I
Hmm.
love it. So that was really good. I should have started with this one to end with the other one.
Right. So there's one of the new episodes of King of the Hill where Hank Hill goes to a bar and like
Oh wow.
he's drinking a beer and he's like he asks the bartender, he's like, "Do you have any beers that are trying to like taste like beer and not trying to taste like something other than beer?" And the bartender looks at all the beers and he's like, "No." You know, because Hank's this guy who like is
Yeah.
from the 90s and like he just wants fucking Budweiser. He wants
Yeah.
his normal ass
Exactly.
normal lager. Like what I'm drinking. Like I switched over to a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Like
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
most basic bitch beer that you could possibly drink, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
I,
what he wants.
I have a kind of similar story with my dad where after he divorced my mom, he went to a bar and he went to the bar and just asked, "Yeah, I will take a draft." And the bartender was like, "Yes, which one?" Because when he used to go to bars, there was like either bottle or draft beer. There
Right.
was no like 10 lines of different kinds of beer. So he
Right.
just like made a fool of himself. But yeah, that was kind of funny. I wasn't there, but I can imagine the situation.
So there's a bar that I used to go to, this little hole in the wall fucking place. This was years ago. I used to walk back and forth, right? And I was working overnights. This is like 2010. So I'm like maybe 2011. So I'm like 21, maybe 22. And they had two beers on draft. That's it. That's all they had. They had
Wow.
Bud they had Bud Light or they had Budweiser. And that's it. Those were their two draft beers.
Wow. Amazing.
And you would pay $2 cash for one of these draft beers because they did not accept debit cards. In 2011, they did not accept debit cards.
Wow.
This kind of fucking hole in the wall. But I liked going there because I was working overnights and they were open at 7 a.m. when I
Yeah.
was going home from work my day and get a beer and a two like I'm not gonna turn down a $2 draft beer. Like even if it's
No,
a Budweiser.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for $2, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's the end of that story. I used to go in there a whole bunch. I don't live near there anymore, so I don't walk by there anymore. But
still a cool story.
Yeah.
All right. I also got some hobby time of my own. And since I talk about my dad, I will start with the minigolf league update and bowling stuff. I went once to the minigolf league because last week it was like parents' meetings for school because my daughter is getting into first grade. Sadly, I had to go there and not go mini golfing. But this week, I went mini golfing with my dad. He joined the league for this week, and we didn't play like together because we're split into groups. But he did fine, especially for a first time. He putted 41 and 38, I believe, which it's pretty similar to what I putted the first time I went there, also like a month ago. So pretty good, especially didn't go to mini pot for like years and years. And for myself, I finally broke under par for my first time. So I did 36 on my first game and 35 on my second game. I was really happy, especially that since I finished with like 2 over par on my last hole because it was a pretty difficult hole. With it goes up and it can really easily go down, but still, even though I did 4 on that putt, I still managed to go under par. If I had made no mistakes and had the same birdies, I would have putted like 6 under par, which would have been really amazing. I think what they call elite players just need to putt like 4 under par to be called elite. So it's really accessible. So I'm fairly confident I can get through a really good putting mean average score in the next year or so. So I'm pretty excited with that. Yeah. And but we also played a different course this week because there's 2 like main courses that are played competitively, and the one that we usually play during the summer, they had like a 70 people group coming in the same night of the league, so we had to switch to the other set of holes. So that was my first time playing them for the league, and like my second time playing them in the last 10 years, and I really like them. They're different. They're a bit I think there are more birdie opportunities on that one, but it's also more painful if you don't get the birdie. So it's like a trade-off. Yeah.
Okay.
So very fun, really fun course. It was super fun being there with my dad. And I also went bowling with my dad because my dad was like the best bowler in Canada in the 90s, like I think 99 or something like that. He tried for the PBA once or twice, I think, during those years, and he's reaching 60 next year, and he's finally decided to get in shape and come back to his like former passion. So he started skating, he started running, he started walking, and then he's gotten back into bowling. So I went to practice with him. I played really poorly, but at the same time, my bowling ball is terrible right now. Like my inserts for my fingers are completely destroyed. I really need to change them. So I was like hanging the ball from the very tip of my finger. So that wasn't really good. But we played 3 games, and my second game I still like bowled 185. So pretty much what my average is. So yeah. So maybe I will, when winter hits, I might go play the bowling league with my dad until mini golf starts again next summer. So we will see during the winter if that happens. And when we went there, bowling alley they just changed their bowling pins for new ones because the other ones were kind of broken, and they were giving away their old pins. So I now have like a full pass bowling pin that I put into my backdrop for my video. So really new item into my backdrop. I I love it. Just physically being able to like touch a bowling pin is pretty special to
Yeah,
me.
you're
All right,
making me
so
want to go bowling. I'm gonna have to go do that.
oh yeah,
I don't have like my own ball or anything though. So like I always just bowl with, you know, the bowling alley's balls, which
yeah,
always kind of sucks because they're always beat up and not great.
yeah, for sure.
It'd be
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to have my like my old ball that's
mm,
still in shape and everything. So, but I still have like to replace my inserts. But yeah, bowling
I
is
might just
fun.
go and buy a ball because they're not that expensive. Like I can get a ball for like $100.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might do that. I might just buy a ball and have a good time. Probably improve
Cool.
my overall average for like the
Yeah.
3 times a year I go bowling.
Do you have any idea what your average is? Like I know mine because I used to play in leagues and stuff. Like my dad used to be the manager of a bowling alley when I
Right.
was young. So I played in juniors there, and then in my young adult life, I would join the league with my dad for like a year or two. So I know that my average is around 180. That's pretty much what I bowl usually.
Probably like 130, 140. Like I'm not great.
Yeah, yeah.
I might get a strike
Okay.
in a single game, maybe two if I'm really lucky, and then you know several spares and like a few nines and a couple of eights or something like that, and maybe one shitty round where I hit like five and then completely fuck up the
Yeah.
rest and hit one more. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I see the kind of player you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually get either no one non spare frame,
Hmm.
basically. So I either spare it or strike it. Like
Yeah.
for every frame of the bowling game. That will give you an average like
Yeah.
look a bit under 200 because I don't do that many strikes, but I usually end my spare. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of player I am. So I'm not elite, but I just like the minimum to be like the
Yeah.
minimum good bowler, I guess.
Yeah. I definitely used to be better because I used to play a lot more. So like the girl that I was dating when I was in high school worked at the bowling alley down the
Okay,
road. So like I could
nice.
just go there and bowl for free, you know. So I would
Yeah,
bowl pretty often just because I could go and spend time there with
yeah.
her. So I was better then than I am now for sure.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And man, I was so fucking sore for like 4 days. Like
Oh yeah, when
I have a 15-pound ball, so it's pretty heavy, and like shooting that like 60 times in a row, yeah, it gets
oh
it
yeah.
uses some muscles I don't use often.
Oh yeah, it'll fuck you up if you're not prepared for it. You need to stretch like for real before you go bowling cuz yeah, it'll start hurting. Even throwing just like a 10, it'll
Yeah.
hurt
Oh
after
yeah.
playing a couple of games the next day, you know?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I usually shoot something between a 12 and a 15 just depending on like what I want, like what kind of
Yeah.
shot I want to be rolling. I like to have that a little bit of variety in weight depending on,
Yeah.
you know, how hard I want to throw the ball and where I want to throw it at. So, yeah, I should probably buy a couple of balls, start playing again cuz I
Oh,
do really enjoy.
cool. And yeah, that bowling session is getting pretty long, but my dad is looking at playing into the senior bowling championship in Sweden next August. So
Okay.
I might just follow him and go to Sweden in next year to
Oh,
like
sweet.
just follow him, caddy him basically into his bowling tournament. And from what he looked at, like they were streaming the whole championship this year, and I think he still has the shot and the average to compete and maybe win in Sweden. So we will see what happens in a year, but that would be freaking cool. Just going
Yeah, that'd be
there.
sweet.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, more hobby time. I've been video editing my ass off for my mini golf video, and it is fucking done. The video is rendered. I got a Premiere Pro error the first time. I got a blue screen the second time, but the third time I deleted a bunch of games from my computer. I think because I only had like 30 gigs left on my computer, and I think the rendering plus like the cache was fitting this up. So I did a bunch of things, and my video is rendered. It's uploaded to my YouTube channel. I have 2 of my 3 thumbnails done, and I've also done so I used AI to generate French subtitles. I went through the French subtitles and fixed the words that weren't right, and then I use DeepL translator to translate those subtitles into English. So my English subtitles are done. They may be a bit wonky because the video ended up being like an hour and 8 minutes, which is kind of insane, but at the same time, like I said, there's like 11, well, there's like 13 different sections in the video. There's the intro, the 10 different mini golfs we went to, and then there's our challenge against the champion, and then there's like the conclusion with where I say which was my favorite mini golfs we went at and everything. So all in all, every section is only like 5 minutes long, but that really adds up when you have 13 different sections. So I think the pacing is good, but I would understand if someone was not watching the whole hour all the way through. But I'm really proud of the video. I think it's really fun all the way through, all the different mini golf we went there. I'm really proud of this video. So it should release next week, like the day you're listening to this episode. The next day it should go up on YouTube. So we will share all of that everywhere. So I only have 1 thumbnail left to do, and the chapter markers for the description. But everything else, like, it's done. It's ready to go. I'm pretty excited to release this because I've been working on this for the past 2 months, and I'm glad it's done. But yeah, I think it's my best video yet, for sure. I think I've done a really good job of summarizing everything, having guests on, having interviews, explaining what the mini golf competition is, and on top of that, having like a full ass challenge against a former like mini golf champion from Quebec. I think this is my magnum opus so far. So really excited to see how it does, and if I can like get the word out, maybe get a couple interviews on the radio and stuff. That would be amazing, but we will see. I just hope I get like 1,000 views and 50 comments. That's my bar is fairly low, but I know I have friends and stuff that will watch it, so that's good.
Great. Love it. Can't wait to watch it.
Thanks. And finally, we had like a special work day where we just went off and did some hiking, had a picnic, played some board games next to the beach. And yeah, I know work can often like be ass and be really sucky from day to day, but I'm really glad that I can be like into a small team and be able to enjoy those special days. And I realized that I don't have that good of cardio. That hiking into the mountains was pretty painful, but yeah, it was also really fun. So I just wanted to mention it, and I hope you can get anyone out there can get like fun work and fun situations with coworkers like that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely helps to have
Oh yeah.
like a crew of people that all enjoy working together, you know.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Is that it? That's it for the hobby time,
Yeah.
right?
That's it for every time. Yeah.
Let's move on to loot box. I've got a lot.
Yeah, I
So
see that.
uh
I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
okay, so I've got two small recommendations. Well, kind of small recommendations. They're both long videos, but two individual recommendations and then one big recommendation.
Okay.
So first recommendation is a channel called The Sphere Hunter. She does primarily videos about classic survival horror games. So Resident Evil, Silent Hill, mostly Resident Evil is where her like bread and butter came from, talking about the classic Resident Evil games. She put out a video about Resident Evil Outbreak, which is really good. And I'm not a huge fan of the Outbreak games. I think they're just kind of okay. But after watching her video, I want to go back and reattempt to play through them again, which I own them. I've been meaning to go back and play them again to kind of reevaluate my opinion on them. And this just extra like motivation to try and do that, right?
Oh,
Good stuff. She's great. Earlybird put out a video called Unintentionally Scary, the Neverhood, which is about the click adventure game called Neverhood, which is a game that is entirely claymation, but is a point and click adventure game. It's very weird.
okay.
And Early Bird's videos are very good. And she
Okay.
mostly talks about point and click adventure games from the early 90s on PC. So, good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I have this whole list of videos right here, which is I've labeled as a whole bunch of videos somehow on a playlist, all related. And what
Okay.
this
Yeah.
is a whole bunch of machinist YouTube channels together and did a thing called Tool Room Takeover 2025, where
Okay.
all these different machinists made things for each other and then sent them to each other and
Oh,
then
nice.
all made videos essentially at the same time. So I found this pile of videos because I watch Yuri Tuckman and I also watch Alex Steele, who are the two probably biggest names on this list.
Hmm.
Alex Steele has like 2.5 million subscribers or something like that. He mostly does
Wow.
like forging metals into different things. He's done a bunch of videos about like forging Damascus into different shapes and things like that. And then Yuri Tuckman, I've shouted out on this channel or
Yeah.
on our podcast before, where he machines weird things, and he's a very creative, artistic machinist who does a bunch of weird things. And then there's all these other people that they all work together with, and they all made gifts for each other. So if you like
Nice.
watching people make things just kind of in general and
Yeah.
looking at the creative process about how people go about making things, there's a lot of great stuff here. Yeah. Awesome list of videos. I've watched. I There's probably something that I'm missing from this whole thing because there's a lot. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. For sure. But that's
uh,
interesting.
yeah, and I enjoy watching people, you know, be creative and physically make things for other people. Even
Oh
if it's
yeah.
not for like another YouTuber. Like this is all for other YouTubers, but like I enjoy watching people make things just kind of in general on YouTube. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
good stuff. All good stuff here.
Cool. That sounds really good. I have two people I want to shout out, and the first one is someone making stuff. So it's Marcin Plaza. He made a video. I built my own phone because innovation is dead.
Nice.
He has a really weird sense of pacing. Like his video is kind of weird, but what he made is also pretty awesome. So he took a Galaxy Z Flip and made like hinge phone with a physical keyboard using only the back screen of the Galaxy Z Flip. So because
Okay.
he took a Z Flip that was broken and the only thing that was working was like the small screen at the top, and he made the screen just slides out and you can use a physical keyboard he harvested from a freaking BlackBerry device,
Uh-huh.
and the whole process is pretty amazing, and the final product is just so slick. I wish I had something like that. It's so weird, so fun, and I
So
wish
that kind
more
of sounds
crazy.
like those old slide phones. Were like
Yeah,
right
exactly.
so like right around the time that smartphones were becoming a thing, slide phones were also like kind of popular, and they were my preferred
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
where you had like a basic, you know, numpad on the front, but then you slid it up and then you had a full QWERTY keyboard underneath.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah. It's
love those.
he basically recreated that kind of thing, but with a modern interface and everything. So
Sweet. Love it.
yeah, yeah, love it. It's pretty cool. And my second shout out is a channel called Recollect, and the video is how many unique M&M characters exist.
This is a
And
good video.
oh yeah, you watched it?
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it's like an hour long video of someone just going through every M&M media that exists and
Hmm.
just like going through there and saying, "Oh yeah, this is definitely its own character. We will add it to the pantheon of M&M characters." And
Yep.
he
Yep.
goes through all generations of M&Ms, all the adverts, all the games, the cartoons, everything. It goes right there, and he ends up with like 400 or something characters. It's pretty crazy, and it reminded me of a channel that I liked called Pat Mac. And this guy is mostly doing mostly doing videos about like plush, like video game plushes mostly.
Okay.
It he hasn't uploaded in a while, but it's mostly on the same vein of this video where he just talks about a bunch of random old plushies and stuff, and it's done in the same way where it's just like JPEGs of old stuff that you can only find randomly on the internet. So yeah,
Hmm.
I really like this video, and I've added more of their videos to my watch list because I think I think the channel is pretty fun.
Sweet. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. So that's it for my loot box.
Sweet. Fuck. I didn't look at our emails.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. Perfect. So if you would like to reach out to us with any questions, comments, or topics of discussion, you can email us at thetrashstation@gmail.com.
And we would like to thank. Sorry, I'm really distracted by my fucking beer. I really hate it. It feels like I'm drinking spaghetti sauce. It's so fucking herby. I don't like it.
Oh
I
man,
absolutely don't
that
like
sounds
it.
terrible.
Oh yeah, yeah. It just doesn't do it for me. It's it's kind of sad because I specially picked this beer because it has a raccoon on the bottle.
Right.
It's the only raccoon bottle I found in the beer store, and it
Right.
tastes like shit. Oh
Yeah,
man,
that really sucks. Like I
yeah,
bought, you know, whiskey specifically for this, and it was good whiskey. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I also bought the barreled aged
yeah.
ale, and this was good. So oh, at least this is salvage. So oh yeah. Anyway, we would like to thank Heath Aldrich for our intro and outro music. You can find a link to all of his music on his Bandcamp page at heathaldrich.bandcamp.com.
And we would also like to thank Rainbow Savvy Designs for links to both of their works will be available in the show notes. And you can find me on twitch.tv/scotchandhobbies, where we are currently streaming, where I usually stream every Monday and Wednesday around 5 or 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can find me on social media if you're at Scotch and Hobbies. And you can also find my other podcast, The Monthly Mishap, was just released as of today, recording,
Woohoo!
at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, anywhere that you can find podcasts, including YouTube, which we release YouTube video versions of that podcast also.
Awesome. And if you would like to play some of my games, you can check out my itch.io page at photomax.itch.io. Otherwise, you can see what I'm playing on Blusky if I ever go back to Blusky.
Yeah.
Photomax. And if you speak French or like to read English subtitles, I have a ton of good videos on the good old YouTube at youtube.com/jeuxbière, especially my new video about minigolf.
Watch the minigolf video.
Oh yeah, come watch it, please.
And you can find the show at TrashStation Pod on Blue Sky when I decide to log Blue Sky, which is almost never. And also rate us 5 stars. We'd appreciate that on whatever podcast app you're listening to, and share us with a friend.
Oh yeah. So thank you, Chris. This was a fun live stream, even if it took like an hour to set up, and can't wait to talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk again in 2 weeks. It's been fun.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.
Okay, I will stop Craig.
Okay.
By splitting stop recording.